Episode 5. I ain't afraid of no ghost, yeah right. The next morning, at 122 West Pine Street, Major Suggs rolled out of bed with the sounds of Yo MTV Raps still fresh in his mind. The night before, he had stayed up watching rappers spit bars with confidence and style, and now all he could think about was getting to Toombs McClendon's house to rap. He threw on his clothes quickly, grabbed his rhyme notebook, and headed out the door. The morning air in the neighborhood was calm, but Major Suggs' mind was racing with lyrics and ideas. He walked down the street toward Toombs McClendon's place. Now, Toombs didn't just stay in any regular house. He stayed in a funeral home that also was a house. That's what always made the place feel strange. From the outside, it looked like a normal older building in the neighborhood, but everybody knew what happened there. Families came there during their worst moments. Funeral cars would sometimes be parked outside, and the feeling around the place always carried a quiet heaviness. Major Suggs walked up the steps and rang the doorbell. A few seconds later, the door opened. Toombs McClendon stood there looking relaxed. "What's up, Suggs?" Major Suggs nodded his head. "Nothing much, ready to bust some raps." Toombs smiled slightly and opened the door wider. "Go in the room and I'll get with you in a second." Major Suggs stepped inside. The house was quiet except for music coming from deeper in the building. As he walked toward the room, he could hear the sounds of the Yamaha DX7 keyboard mixed with the hard drums from the Roland TR 808 drum machine. The beat had that raw, underground 1980s sound. When Major Suggs entered the room, the music was already playing loud enough to shake the floor slightly. He immediately started nodding his head to the rhythm while flipping through his notebook. Then he started freestyling, walking back and forth, hands moving with the beat, confidence building with every line. But while he was rapping, he could still see part of the hallway through the cracked door across the room. And from where he stood, he could see the doorway where a body could be at. That strange funeral home, feeling never fully left the room. The reality of death sat only a few feet away while the music kept playing. But Major Suggs kept rapping anyway. The beat knocking, the DX7 humming, the rolling drums hitting hard, and Major Suggs standing in the middle of a funeral home house, chasing his dream through every bar he spit. The beat from the Roland TR 808 kept knocking through the room while the soft chords from the Yamaha DX7 floated through the funeral home house. Major Suggs was in the middle of freestyling, walking back and forth with confidence when suddenly, everything stood still. The room felt frozen. The music still played faintly, but something about the atmosphere changed completely. Major Suggs slowly stopped rapping. His forehead tightened. He looked around the room carefully. "What is going on?" Then he saw it. A glow. Faint at first, coming from the hallway near the room where the body could be at. Major Suggs' eyes locked onto the light. The glow slowly flickered against the dark walls of the funeral home. "What is that?" His voice was low now, serious. The same strange feeling from the other day suddenly rushed back into his mind. The teleportation, the leaf, the impossible feeling he still couldn't explain. Major Suggs stared hard. "Why do I feel something?" The glow became brighter, almost breathing, almost alive. "What is that in that room?" Now Major Suggs wasn't rapping anymore. He slowly stood completely still, staring toward the hallway. The beat continued behind him. Boom, tap, boom. But he barely heard it now. Something was pulling his attention toward that room. Slowly, Major Suggs began walking closer, one careful step at a time. The closer he got to the glowing doorway, the hotter the air began to feel. Then suddenly, his hands started glowing, like fire was moving underneath his skin. Major Suggs quickly looked down. Orange light danced across both of his hands. His eyes widened. "What the?" The glow around his fingers intensified the closer he got to the room, almost like whatever was behind that doorway recognized him. Major Suggs slowly lifted his hand toward the light. The hallway became silent, the air heavy. Then, right before he reached the doorway, Toombs McClendon's voice broke the moment. "Suggs, what you doing in there, man?" Major Suggs snapped out of it and quickly turned around. Toombs stood down the hallway looking annoyed. "Get back in here, man. Let's do this music." Major Suggs looked back toward the glowing room. The light still flickered softly. Toombs shook his head. "You know you scared? You don't want to see what's in there?" Major Suggs stared at him silently. Then Toombs clapped his hands impatiently. "Come on, man. I gotta go. I'm on a tight schedule. Let's go." Major Suggs slowly looked back toward the room one last time, and just like that, the glow disappeared. Tune in for another episode of Dot Lander, The Teenage Years. Make sure you check out the soundtrack for Dot Lander by V.A. Jew Truth.
Through the pain and strain and how life changed, family and friends come and go, but yet I remain. The memories and broken promises of how we would never change. The distraction and distance made you refrain. Funny how people change, yet I remain. Oh, yeah. Life lessons can trigger memories as a little boy from the south side of Chicago. I remember running home to watch Spider-Man on WSNS channel 44. I remember mom buzzing me in the door, that feeling I wanted to be more, and not understanding what would be in store. I remember when she let me to stay at a friend's house, which was a beauty shopping store right down the street. I never knew why I had to stay.